I started in go-karts, and I worked my way from go-karts, Skip Barber, Spec Miata, into Continental. And the Mazda ladder program really helped me get to this point. They supported me all the way through, and it's probably one of the best ladder programs you can get into, because there's something to race everywhere.
One of the things I think that a lot of the Spec Miata community, if they realized that they could come do Grand-Am, it's really not that big of a deal, get in a ladder program like what they have at Long Road Racing, and it's probably more of an attainable thing than what the average club racer thinks. It's a pretty cool deal. I guess it's every club racer's sort of dream to want to go pro race, and more of them can do it than maybe what they think they can.
For instance, Tyler is a great example of the Mazda ladder program in that, well, at least internal to our team, he's been able to go from a Spec Miata background with our long road racing Spec Miatas, and then come over to the Freedom side. In about a year and a half to 2 years, he's been able to develop the skills and be a competitive driver in Grand-Am, staying within the Mazda brand the whole time. His background before that was in Mazdas as well, in the Skip Barber series. So it's pretty neat to see you be able to stay with the same manufacturer all the way through the steps. Kind of furthermore, from my personal perspective, I've been able to do a similar thing, and kind of moving on to the next step. I've been having a opportunity with Dempsey Racing this year, and last a little bit in their Mazda GT car, their RX-8, which has been a phenomenal experience for me. And it's just been really an honor to be able to do that for Mazda, and be able to do this with the ST cars, and then be able to drive the GT cars in the same weekend. A little busy sometimes, but it's sure a lot of fun.
Speed and the intensity. Spec Miata is it's intense but more laid back, where this is pressure. And the racing here, you give a little bit, you can go to the back. Spec Miata, you give a little bit, you might get past, but you won't go that far back. Spec Miata, if you make a mistake, that's costly. We're here, if you make a mistake, not as costly.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Tyler as a young man. We've kind of gotten to be friends outside of the track, and with his mother and father and all that kind of thing. We spend a little social time together. And because of being in the business so long, I come across a lot of young men, and I couldn't be more impressed with Tyler as a young man. He's got a great head on his shoulders as a human being, as a friend. He's much more mature than, what you would think that a 17-year-old would be. And He's really good with feedback in the car. We, after every session, we have some debriefs, and he always has probably better feedback than I have. It's pretty amazing that he's so in tune with the whole program, and it's been really cool to sort of be with somebody younger like that. It's kind of neat to see his perspective on things and sort of watch him come along. I kind of been watching him for a while, and I'm feel really privileged to be driving with him and co-driving. He's an awesome young man, and I'm sure that in future years, you're going to see that name get really big and get a lot of traction, and have a lot of huge results in Grand-Am for sure. And it's going to be cool for me, because I'm going to be able to say, hey man, I remember when Tyler was just a little guy, So that's going to be cool. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think ultimately any car manufacturer's goal and responsibility is to sell cars, right? So in any Mazda you drive, you will feel the soul of a sports car, guarantee. No matter if it's their SUV line or their street car, sports car line, you absolutely feel that in every Mazda you drive. And so if their goal is to sell Mazdas, and they're able to get more Mazdas to the track because more grassroots kids and adults are driving these cars during race weekends at the club level, at the pro level, then more fans are going to be able to see that, and when they come out to the Grand-Am race, they associate with the Mazda brands, and they're loyal. And you see that here this weekend at Mid-Ohio, where you're going to have 150 Mazda Corral folks come out. We just met with them last night at an event they had, and they're really excited to be out here. So they're really brand loyal, and I think Mazda feels like they sell more cars, which is obviously their goal in helping drivers further their career.